The wind from the west, from the sundered lands rot rides it, and the stench of blood. Cursed walker, will you travel there? To the valley of the unfortunate undead. Our young ones are taken by the child thief Turgle, known for his vile crimes and alchemy of flesh. On playtest! Hi, my name's Anthony, and today on Playtest we're going to talk tips and tricks for new GMs from Mörk Borg, things you should be aware of, and things I would definitely recommend. Tip number 1, this is not D&D. This is not a quest of heroes, this is not a power fantasy, this is not spell-slinging, hack-slashing type of adventure. This is an adventure on how you're going to die the funniest. This is not a game of heroes, this is a game about mundane, horrible people just trying to survive as the world is ending. This is a game about trekking through the world and knowing that it's going to die. You are the survivors of a dying world, just trying to make your way through it as the days are coming to an end. The world is ending, this is inevitable. You're just trying to make your way through. Do not treat your players as if they're heroes. If you do so, you're going to set them up for failure. They will die very easily. And a single skeleton could simply wipe out the entire party if they're not too careful. So it's your job as the game master to just present opportunities to be able to flee and run away and just be awful. Do not treat this as a power fantasy. Treat this as you're a piece of shit fantasy. Tip number 2. Player characters will die. But that's the fun of it. This is a meat grinder. You're creating awful people and doing terrible things. If they die, make it fun. A way to try to minimize the death is instead of having them go to 0 health, you could just have them roll on a wound table. There's plenty of third-party tables out there for Mörk Borg or any other TTRPG system. Just have them do a wound roll. You know, let's say they take a lethal hit, have them roll a d20. Let's say it's a 17. You get both your arms cut off. Now it's a fun role-playing game. Like, how the fuck am I gonna do all this with no arms? Maybe the other adventurers can use their arms as a weapon, and then that player character can still roll, but be used as a weapon kind of thing. Yeah, there's just a lot of different things you can do. It's such a freeing system of, yeah, but this would be funny. That's the whole thing. That's the entire system, so just really lean into that. Tip number 3 is I would definitely use all the optional systems in this game, such as the omens, such as the classes, the miseries, everything that you can think of. One of the most fun aspects of Mörk Borg is the tables and how absolutely insane it is. Having character traits, terrible traits, messed up bodies. Just whenever you're creating your character, make sure you use as many tables as possible when your players are creating a character to really flesh out their character. It's just going to make them awful looking and have a better idea of who they are. As well as omens to help them fight back the awfulness of the world. Make sure you play with miseries because they're definitely a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend just having one already in play. Like, for example, if you roll 2-2 and the ground pale with maggots. Now the entire world is maggots. What the fuck? Definitely helps with the role-playing aspect and the world building. Going into that, another tip would be the world as a character. The setting is huge. It is dark, it is grimy, it's insane, it doesn't make any sense, and that's okay. If you come at this game too literally, you are not going to have any fun. The setting, in a way, is more important than your player characters. I definitely recommend reading through the core book and kind of slightly understanding the lore. I honestly doubt that the lore will actually come up in your campaign. The reason I suggest doing so is because it's going to give you such a better understanding of the setting, the themes of the entire book. It's insane, it's ridiculous. It's going to show you how it's possible for characters to just suddenly just die. And that's fucking awesome. The mood of this game, like I said, is where this game really thrives. It is a hyper-violent, shit-stained, blood-soaked, pus-ridden, maggot-filled kind of game. And the best way to emphasize this with your players is just to keep beating them down. Beat them down to a point of fun. Don't just say, this guy shows up and kills you guys, that's not great, but say, hey, this guy comes around and steals your legs. Now they're on a quest to go find their legs. I mean, that sounds cool as hell. Don't get too technical about it. How did it steal their legs? Why did it do this? This and this. Don't ask questions, just go with it. That huge piece of advice. Do not ask questions, just say things kind of happen, because why not? Why shouldn't they happen? It's the end of the world. The setting allows you to do that. It in a way does not take itself seriously. My last tip for new players would be lean into the tables. Tables are going to be your best friend. There are so many tables in the core book for occult treasures, corpse plundering. There's more in books like Feretory, other third-party supplements. It's going to be your best friend. For example, let's say somebody goes and plunders something. You can't come up with something. First page, corpse plundering, D66. What do you find? 2 weighted dice. Perfect. A note with the player character's name. 1 is crossed out. What is... And it doesn't have to matter. It's gonna help you kind of drive a story forward, and it's gonna take some of the weight off of you. Your part as the GM is just to keep the setting the setting. You're playing the setting. Like I said, the world is its own character, and you're playing that world more than you are building the story. It's up to them to go through this land and for you to just slightly present just obstacles in their way. And tables do such a great thing at that. There's even a great table on page 1. The first part is different names of, NPCs that they can find. The weather, traps, treasures, corpses. In Feritor, we have things like monster generators, trinkets, different animals they can find, what they eat, what they do. Use tables. Just find tables you like. There's others out there such as what's on that table? What's that smell? What does that blood say? There's so many tables that you could fill an entire binder with it and use that. It's going to make the game so much easier and so much more fun for just that chaotic randomness that this game really thrives on. The biggest takeaway I would say for this would be keep it silly, keep it light, use the tables, just have fun. This game is all about having fun in the most ridiculous, blood shit stained way. If you're a player of Mörk Borg and I didn't mention any of the tips you would recommend, please put them in the comment section below. This is a channel dedicated to helping new players find new games, and Mörk Borg is definitely one of my favorites, and I want to get as many people playing it. So please have fun out there, and may the two-headed basilisk not bite your head off.